Come on, C54. Fighting for traction a little bit with the tyres there. Today we're taking a look at the new 2023 WPL C54 ready to run. Now this isn't the first time we've seen the C54, but this time they have made some upgrades. Now initial impressions, I think it does look really cool. I really like WPL's hard bodies, but there are some things I really don't like about this. So we're going to take a closer look at the truck itself, but before we do that, let's have a look at what we get in the box. We do get quite a lot in the box for this one. Let's start with the battery. We've got a 500 milliamp hour 2S lithium ion battery, a USB charger. Now we've got a couple of bags of spare parts and accessories to fit onto the truck. Now you will have to fit the door handles, the wing mirrors, the snorkel and the spare wheel to go on the back. Now as it comes out the box, none of these accessories are already attached. Here we have the typical WPL transmitter. These things always feel really cheap, but they do get the job done. The only adjustment you have on this is your steering trim, and apart from that, that is pretty much it, apart from needing two AA batteries to get you up and running. Here we have the basic black and white manual, and there is a diagram there telling you where to put all of your exterior parts. We've got a screwdriver and a tool to open the bonnet. So back to the truck then, it is 1/16 scale. And as far as I'm aware, 1/16 scale trail trucks and mini crawlers are a little bit harder to come by. Usually we see 1/24 scale crawlers and 1/18 scale. So I do like the fact that this is a little bit larger than some of the other crawlers I've tried on the channel. Now it is really sunny today, it might be difficult to see, but you do get a full interior. Now the shocks don't feel too bad on this, and they are adjustable. Now this is one of the things I don't like about this, and that is the firm compound that they've used on the tyres. These feel so plasticky, they almost feel like toy grade. Not a fan of these, and I would have liked to have seen softer tyres out the box. Now they are available on the WPL website, but I just think this should have come with the soft tyres straight out the box. So this thing uses plastic drive shafts, plastic links, pretty much everything on this is plastic, but we do get metal chassis rails. So remember this little tool that they include in the box, where you can use this to get to the battery tray. That is where your battery is housed. Now you may not need to use this because there is a very small notch there. If you can get your nail into it, you will be able to open it. Now this thing does have LED lights as well. I've already powered it on and tested them. Take a look at this. Now this is a really cool feature. This thing has counter-rotating drive shafts to eliminate any torque twist. Now when you unscrew the body, that is where your electronics are going to be housed, and this thing does come with a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver and a 280 sized brush motor. Now I've never really been a huge WPL fan, and I haven't actually owned that many either, but a lot of people are saying the 280 motor just isn't as good as some of the previous motors that they've featured in some of their other models. This also has a new and updated, slightly more powerful free-wire servo. Now this is 4-wheel drive, it's also fully proportional. Not too bad, the servo feels nice and powerful for this application. Yeah, not too bad. So we need to find out how the C54 performs, and we're going to do this at my local forest, but before we do that, I want to show you this. Now I have noticed you do have to apply quite a bit of throttle to get this thing to move. Just take a look at this. Yeah, not sure about that. Now in case anyone's wondering how fast these actually are, well, just like a lot of crawlers, they're not very fast at all. That is full throttle. But what we really need to do is see how this is going to perform off-road. So let's do that now. Now straight away it is noticeable that slight delay on the throttle. I am finding myself having to use quite a bit of the trigger to actually get it to move. I think those shocks just feel a little bit too firm, and when I tested out the FMS, the K5 Blazer, I actually said I prefer softer shocks and friction shocks on some of these smaller crawlers because they do add to the realism. But maybe that's just me being fussy. Again, I'm not a huge crawler fan, as a lot of you guys will know anyway, because I don't really do a huge amount of crawling videos on my channel. Now let's talk about that body once again, because I think it is a really good looking truck. I know a lot of people out there like to do their own modifications to these WPL cars. Now if you was looking to use this as a rock crawler, would it work? Well yes, absolutely, but I would say change out the tyres. Also have a look at the shocks. You may be better off fitting an upgraded set of shocks. It doesn't perform too bad, but I've definitely tested out better here on the channel, and most recently the FMS K5 Blazer. But that said, we do need to remember the FMS is almost double the cost of this. I think these are selling for about £70 at the moment. The FMS stuff is, you know, over £100, £130, something along those lines, which is almost double what this thing costs. With some modifications, I reckon this has definitely got more potential, but as it is out the box, I really don't think it's the best. Now this is the C54, but you can also get the C54-1, which does come with some optional exterior parts, such as a roof rack and a different front grille. Now the other one does look really cool with all the extra features, but I actually prefer the look of this one. Now what I do want to do is see if we can climb this really steep hill, just to see if we've got any traction in those tyres. I don't think it's going to do it, but let's find out. Full throttle. Right, here we go then. This is a really steep hill. Look at that incline. I don't think we're going to do it, but let's give it a go. Come on, C54. Fighting for traction a little bit with the tyres there. Can we do it? Doing well so far. We're almost there. Oh, it actually done it. Not bad. But the real question is, can we go back down? Now, I don't think this has got a drag brake. There's only one way to find out. We're going to ease the throttle in. No, we don't have a drag brake with this. So let's talk about that motor then, because it does feel a little bit underpowered. I think some of the other channels have mentioned they would have probably been better off going with a 370 size brushed motor, and I think I can agree with that. A little bit of extra torque would be nice. So there we go then, guys. Not a huge amount more to say about the C54. Yes, it doesn't perform too bad. It could definitely do with some upgrades out the box, but at the current price, I don't think it's too bad, but definitely consider your options. Now for the price, yes, it didn't perform too badly out the box, but there are some things I really don't like about this. Firstly, those tyres, they are absolutely terrible. They're just too firm and they just feel toy grade. Next up, let's talk about the shocks. Now out the box, I think they're just a little bit too firm. Everything just feels a little bit too firm and rigid on this. I just wish everything was a little bit softer. That way it would add to the scale realism. Now I think I'm confusing you and myself here, so let me show you a very short clip of the FMS K5 Blazer. Now that thing is using friction shocks as well, but the springs are a lot softer on that, and as you can see, it does add to the scale realism when the truck is moving around. Everything's nice and fluid, and I just prefer the softer shocks. Now I still feel like I'm confusing myself and you, so I'll just leave it there. I think you kind of get the point I'm trying to make. Another thing I don't like is the fact that you may have to use a tool just to get to the battery tray. I think this is a bit of a weird idea, and I would have liked to have seen maybe a slightly larger notch at the front just so that you can get your finger under it. I think that would have been enough. But look, this is one of the cheapest options out there. It's also one of the larger options, so it's not all bad. So we're going to leave it there today. Let me know in the comments section what you think of WPL and what do you think of their brand new C54 ready to run. Now with some upgrades, yes, it has probably got so much more potential, but straight out the box, well, it definitely needs some work. I don't think there's anything more to say, so we're going to leave it there. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one. Take care.